I don't know what this is, but it's kind of hot.
Temtem, an interesting game, but also a really superior one. Yo, what is up everybody? It's Ronald and welcome back for another video. Today, like I said in that really cringy intro, I'll be talking about a game called Temtem, which is basically an online MMORPG developed by a team called Crema. And at first glance, this game looks like Pokemon. Like, it's heavily inspired by Pokemon. But when you get into it, it's actually more different than you think. Now, luckily, I was able to get some gameplay footage of Temtem, and this is currently the alpha stage, but even then, it plays really good and really smoothly. The game runs at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second, and even though, like I said, it's an alpha stage, I have not experienced any game-breaking bugs or any type of visual glitch or any frame drops at all. It ran buttery smooth flawlessly. And also, let me talk about the visuals, because the visuals are like, the visuals in the game are really eye-popping and really colorful, that for a 2019 indie game, it looks really good indeed. And now I want to talk about the animations, because the animations in this game, oh, they're really good too. And here are a couple examples of high quality animations. Now, how is the gameplay? Because I know that's like the main important factor of this game. And honestly speaking, I personally like it, and it's actually unique in some way. The game by default is in the 2v2 format, but in the future, the developers are planning to add a 1v1 format. You have your HP and stamina stat, in which they can actually be different based on the Temtem itself. And each move will be taking a different amount of stamina based on its properties. Now, your Temtem will be getting stamina each turn, so if you want, you can either skip a turn to get more stamina back, or you can switch out your Temtem, in which you get more stamina as your Temtem is resting back in the party. Now, this is where the fun will come in. See the move called Crystal Dust with the plus icon? Well, basically, based on your allied Temtem, you can actually combine the move to gain extra properties. Now, since I'm using Crystal Dust, if I have a Wind-type Temtem, which Gazuma is an electric and Wind-type Temtem, Crystal Dust will be doing more damage and gain priority. Not only this move, but there are other moves in the game where you can do the same exact feature, so I can't wait for the other combinations. And another main important thing in these battles, there is no RNG at all, meaning that you won't get crits, you won't get any misses, none of that RNG garbage, which I personally like too, because that means that you can plan better and you won't get messed up by a random crit or anything like that. Honestly, the battle system seems pretty balanced to me, and speaking of balance, let me get right onto that right now. There are 12 types in the game, and each weakness and resistance seems pretty balanced. Now, in terms of balancing, I think this takes the cake. They either do buffs or nerfs on specific Temtem or moves, which, that is really good. Now, I do want to talk about more of the battle system, but let me talk about the Temtem themselves, because oh my goodness, I love these designs. Especially this guy right here. Now, some of you may be wondering, I recognize that design somewhere. Where have I seen that design? Where have I seen it? Well, that's because the actual artist of that monster design actually decided to pledge for the game and get it in the actual game and its full evolution line. That is very awesome. And besides Platypet, which is the platypus Temtem, I really like Cheryl because of its design and its stats too. It has a lot of defense and a lot of HP, so it's a real tank indeed, like a really good tank. Now, I do want to keep on talking about Temtem, but I'm going to talk about something else that's related to Temtem, but not to the actual game itself. What do I mean by that? Well, a couple days ago, IGN posted a Temtem trailer on their YouTube channel, and it got a lot of views and a lot of positive feedback.
Yes.
Hey, that's pretty good.
But I do want to answer some questions that I saw in the comments of that video. And I think one common question I saw for this game was, will it get sued by the Pokemon Company? And the simple answer to that is no. And you gotta think about it. There are other games inspired by Pokemon like Digimon, Yokai Watch, Crystal Monsters, and the list goes on and on. And I mean, it would be kind of weird, honestly, if Temtem, out of all of the Pokemon inspired games, will be sued by the Pokemon Company. So, I mean, I really don't understand why people would think of that. And also, Temtem kind of like has its own art style and its own battle system, so it's kind of unique in some way if you think about it. And not only Pokemon, but there are also other games inspired by big games. For example, Super Smash Bros. It inspired games like Rivals of Aether and Brawlhalla, and again, the list goes on and on. So it's kind of like a common thing in the gaming industry where other games get inspired by other games. So it's nothing really too new, but I can kind of see why people are getting kind of confused with this, you know? Next common question. How much will the game cost and when is it coming out? The game will cost $35 US and it'll be coming out on January 21st of 2020. And honestly speaking, I think that's definitely worth it for $35 because one, free updates will be coming out for the game, and two, it's not going to be pay to win, so everybody will be on an even playing field when going to the competitiveness of this game. Last and final question. Will this game be on every console? Yup, it'll be on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Of course, it will be out on the PC first, so if you want to play the game early, then I would get the PC version. And that's it with the questions pretty much. Now, I know there are more questions in that video. How can I get this Temtem? What else would be in the game? Can I be Goku in Temtem?
Hey, it's me, Goku!
Then you can let me know down in the comments below and I'll be sure to respond back as soon as possible. Now, like I said in the beginning, Temtem is a really interesting and good game. And I want this game to do really well, like really well, because obviously it shows that the developers care about this game. They put a lot of effort into the animations, they put a lot of effort into the graphics, and the list goes on and on. And again, I just played the alpha, so the fact that that alpha was so good and so fun, imagine the full game in the future updates, like holy moly. And also, they are doing a stress test for Temtem, which for those who don't know, a stress test is basically seeing like how many people can join a server without making it crash. So it's like more of like a test to see how big a server can get. So when I get more info on that, I'll be sure to make a video on it and most likely stream it with you guys. But anyways, thank you all for watching, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And again, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below and I'll be sure to respond back as soon as possible. But that's enough of me talking. I'll see you all next time, and as always, have a good one.